Deep within the dense Amazon rainforest exist a number of terrifying mysteries that baffle even the most seasoned explorers. From animal species never seen before to the ones never thought to have existed. Join us today to learn about the terrifying mysteries of the Amazon that nobody could explain.
The Amazon is a colossal mystery. It's one of the subjects that I explore in depth in America before.
In 2019, a dead humpback whale was found on Marajo Island in Brazil's Amazon rainforest, far from any dense water source. This surprising discovery left many puzzled, as it's unusual for these whales to be found in such a location. Humpback whales travel to warmer waters near the Amazon River in winter for food and then move south to Antarctica. The whale, found dead and without any visible injuries, had been there for about 4 days. The mystery of how a 10-ton baby whale ended up in the middle of the forest remains unsolved, sparking curiosity and speculation. What do you guys think about it? Do let us know. Oddly shaped peanut bug. While passing through the rainforest, a curious adventurer saw this strange insect known as the peanut bug. From top to bottom, it seemed like a normal bug to him, but when he reached its head, he was shocked to see its peanut-shaped head. The bug had 2 pairs of forewings, which are called elytria. They had textures and patterns on them. Its head looks like a snake, a lizard, or a combination of both. It had 2 kinds of structure in its wings. This peanut bug feeds on plant material and decaying organic matter. Deadly goonch. In the Amazon River, there are many terrifying creatures from which we will see a strange creature today. 3 men were boating into the river when they saw a weird organism moving in the water. They got closer and thought it was a crocodile, but it was a giant creature of 300 pounds. It took all of them to pull it out of the water, not just because of the size, but also the danger of the catch going berserk. Experts came to speculate about it and found that the creature was a deadly goonch, which is a species and people were trying to catch it, but only a few of them were successful. Bagworms.
Oh, he's wearing one of those things on those trees.
A man on a road saw a weird creature crawling which had a sectioned front body with prints over the head. It seemed to him like a tree insect or a special worm. He showed his friend that tree where many of them were hanging, who also weren't able to identify it. One of them was eating a leaf of a tree, so they recorded it and posted it on social media.
It's disgusting, right?
It's pretty gnarly.
A researcher commented that it is a bagworm belonging to the family Cycadea. This family of moths is known for the unique habit of the larvae constructing protective cases or bags out of silk and plant material. Electric eel. A marine expert was researching poisonous frogs when instead he saw a marine creature with a snaky body, flat head, and thick brown skin underwater. By diving into the water, the diver got to know it was an electric eel. They are incredible fish found in the Amazon River that can grow up to 8 feet long and have an electric organ that generates powerful electric shocks of up to 650 volts. This ability helps them hunt for prey, communicate, and defend themselves. Despite their name, they're not true eels, but a type of knife fish. These shocks can be strong enough to stun or even kill smaller animals, making the electric eel a top predator in its environment. Slimy creatures.
I'm sorry, I left my GoPro at home.
Oh.
In the Sea of Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, 2 divers saw an unimaginable view of tons of slimy beings floating in the sea. They had a transparent, flexible body with a snake resembling a head. While zooming in on them, they could see the spine of them. The slimy creature looked like snakes, water worms, or slimy worms to them because of their appearance, but they were not sure about it as it was an unrecognizable marine animal. They recorded this view and asked people on social media about it, but nobody knew the exact name. Spiky alien worm. A man was passing by a road when he saw an unrecognizable entity. It had 2 horns on its head, many white spikes around it, and a patterned body with a red head and a long spiky tail. As it moved on the ground, he noticed its sinuous, almost serpentine motion. When it turned back, revealing white spots on its head, the creature's eyes shone with a light, sending a shiver down his spine. The recorder thought it could be a reptile or a worm, but not sure about it, and He hesitated to approach any closer. Weird underwater plant. A man was hoping to go fishing when he noticed this weird plant-like organism that appeared on a low tide. It had several arm-like branches with bushy ends and a hole in the middle, and it seemed to be busy jiggling arms in a feeding frenzy. The man got curious about it and tried to figure out what strange bushy thing it was, but could not. He made a video of it and posted it on social media, where viewers were terrified by its nature and appearance, which looked quite unearthly. However, a marine biologist said it is a seabed marine animal species that feeds on plankton and gets caught up in its busy arms. Alien caterpillar.
I don't know if I should do this. Come on. Oh my gosh!
There were two kids, Rowan and Ivan, who were playing in the yard when they found this mysterious entity. It was in the bushes. It kind of looked like an alien, but it had a caterpillar-like body. They thought maybe it could be a Mothman, but when the boys researched about the Mothman, it said he had red eyes and this little creature had black eyes. This is in Texas, so maybe it just lives in this state. But if you know what this is, leave us a comment. Rowan and Ivan are excited about their new pet.
Hey, you're so cute. We're gonna keep you for now.
Worm monstrosity. While passing through a walkway in Pennsylvania, a man saw a huge circle of mud-colored worm-like animals on the ground. At first sight, it seemed to be a fungus too, but he moved closer as it moved. The bystander was surprised to see this movement, as it was moving in circles, and then suddenly the entity appeared in a straight line. It started moving towards a single animal, but this mysterious creature was a large cluster of worms that were moving together like an animal to protect themselves from any harm around them. Green snake slime. In the mysterious stories of creatures, here comes another mysterious living thing. A boy was hanging around his home at night when he saw a long green slimy kind of thing. He thought it was slime and went ahead to inspect it closer. Suddenly it started moving, catching him by surprise. The boy and all the bystanders around, none of them were able to understand this mysterious creature about its nature. It started to throw some kind of pink strands from its non-prominent mouth. Some called it a snake and some called it a worm. It is still a mystery. Unusual massive salamander. In 2019, a nature lover was exploring a river in central China to record different fish, but he saw something more interesting in the middle of a river. It was a giant creature with a flat mouth and brown spots on it. The man asked the fishermen about it, and they said it was a Chinese giant salamander, which can grow up to 5 feet long and weigh more than 50 pounds. The guy was amazed by this rare creature and posted it on social media. People were surprised to see such a rare ancient creature in its real watery home. Moving bushy mystery. While passing through a park, a man sat on a bench to enjoy the greenery. Nearby, on a pebble-strewn ground, he noticed a small creature that looked like a tiny bush. Covered in black hair-like spines and with a tiny head, the creature's spines were sharp as pins. Intrigued, he recorded a video and shared it online, seeking answers. It turned out to be a black caterpillar known for its fuzzy appearance. This chance encounter sparked curiosity and a deeper appreciation for the hidden details of nature. Branch kind of being. On the eve of the 19th of December 2009, a man spotted this bizarre-looking entity that appeared on the road. He initially thought of it being a worm of some kind until he got a closer look at it. The creature had a branch-like body with a squeezed end and a snake-like head. He was curious to know about what the nature of this mysterious being could be, as it was moving forward trying to eat a tiny branch. The video was uploaded on YouTube in hopes of finding its actual nature. Star-nosed mole. Under moist soils, there is a network of tunnels which is made by a strange-nosed mammal called a star-nosed mole. It digs out these tunnels to live in. It has a round, hairy body with 2 hands, 2 large feet, and a tail. And the interesting feature is its star-shaped nose. This mammal is virtually blind, but its nose does the job for it. as it's not just a nose, it senses things, even its feed, which is worms and other insects. In heavy rain, soil gets saturated and it has to go out of the tunnel to save itself, so the mole swims out of this flooded water using its large feet that work like paddles and are good for digging, and they can sense underwater just like soil. Ribbon Species. Worms are a common creature, but this worm comes with a mysterious nature. On a rainy day, a man was hanging around a river when he came across a rock that had a pink-colored species on it. The researcher became curious about it as it had a mouth on both of its ends, and it was moving its head from one end to another. Its size was changing and appeared to be like a snake and was creating a white branch-like web from its mouth. He posted it on social media, and people gave it different names like ribbon worm, web snake, etc. Black Cayman. A nature lover went to the Amazon River where he saw a black cayman. The black cayman is a large crocodilian native to the Amazon basin. Males can grow up to 16 feet long and have a dark, almost black coloration. They inhabit slow-moving rivers, swamps, and floodplains where they are apex predators, feeding on fish, birds, and small mammals. Black caymans are known for their powerful jaws and can be aggressive when threatened. They are considered near threatened due to habitat loss and hunting, though their populations are not critically low. Conservation efforts are in place to protect their habitat and ensure their survival. Worm resembling anomaly. While camping, a backpacker saw a light brown colored worm resembling a creature with a long tail moving on the grain sack. It was also spinning while moving. The man put it into his palm and watched it closely, and was able to see its head with tiny eyes and nose. It had a kind of pattern on it, along with its weird invisible body mechanics. He tried to speculate about it, but was never able to figure out its actual nature. Unknown being. While walking on the beach, this bizarre, unrecognizable creature was found on the wet beach sand. Footage captured at a beach in Hurghada, Egypt, showed an unknown marine animal that looked to have a huge dome-like belly. It is unsure if this is a body part of some animal or a tiny blotted creature that got washed ashore. They got no clue of what it was, so they moved forward and named it an unknown being. Giant centipede. As you guys have always seen tiny centipedes in your yards, today you will be amazed to see such a giant centipede. It is a South American centipede that is almost a foot long, and more surprisingly, it is still growing. The centipede is shedding its skin only to grow a new one, so that it can fit within it as it ages and grows. It eats its skin and still asks for more. Now, to compare the size of this giant centipede that starts to chase a baby green iguana. The iguana is fast and spontaneous, but the centipede is slow, stubborn, and hungry. It is jumping forward, and a centipede is crawling behind it. The reptile came to the end of the branch and jumped into the water to save itself. The centipede turned back with disappointment. Unknown alien spider. A man was standing on a road when he saw an unrecognizable and mysterious white-colored creature, as it had 2 arms and many legs. The cryptic being was walking back and forth like a human being. By looking closer, he saw that it had a tail and a skull-type head. It looked like an alien to him because of its appearance. The man recorded it to show his friends how to solve this mystery of aliens. They were shocked by watching it and gave it different names. Alien? Alien spider? A mixture of human and alien. GOI Eel baby. A boy was swimming in the Amazon River on a hot, sunny day. As he swam, suddenly his eyes stuck on a marine creature. He picked it up from the water and started inspecting it before taking pictures of it and posting them on social media to get answers. As soon as it got viral, it was recognized by an expert as GOI Eel. The GOI Eel, also known as the spotted eel, is a small, elongated fish in the Indo-Pacific, known for its vibrant colors and reef habitat. Crawling vampire. Here comes another mysterious creature. One day, a local man was passing in the wilderness in North Carolina. He saw an unfamiliar thing slithering on the ground. Its facial features were not prominent, and it had 4 tiny legs bent unusually. The man thought it was a bat, but it did not fly, and he tried getting answers as to its nature. He ended up with a theory that it was a vampire bat that crawled on the ground. The creature was wandering in search of its prey to feed on, but when it saw the man, it crawled away. The man came back and told everybody about it and named it Crawling Vampire. Hairless mysterious creature. In June 2013, a man was about to go surfing, and there he saw an unusual thing on the seaside. He called his friend to film this carcass of a weird gray hairless creature that was found on a tree branch. It had big ears, a spiky head, and sharp teeth. The animal's hands looked like a mixture of human and rat hands, and had a long tail and feet with odd paws. At first, they thought it was a brush-tailed possum, but it was something else. Experts called it an African rat that came to Australia somehow, but they were not sure, so they took it with them to analyze further. Unknown marine mystery. On a scorching sunny day, a diver plunged into the sea and noticed something unusual on a rock: white patterned beings. At first he thought they were worms, but as he examined them closer, he saw creatures with colored lines on their bodies. Some as long as snakes, others too tiny to see clearly. Curious, the diver approached and observed many rocks covered with these beings. He saw their heads adorned with spikes and watched as they scattered when they opened their mouths. Unable to identify them, he described these enigmatic creatures as alien-like, fueling a mystery about whether they were snakes, worms, or some other odd sea entity. Bizarre moving slitherer. A man was passing by a road when he saw a bizarre creature moving on the road. It looked like a reptile to him. Its body was quite flexible, as the reptile was moving fluently. This bizarre entity had a spring kind of body with a static head with two eyes and a duck resembling a mouth. Its body and head were separated by a white line, and it seemed like its body was a separate thing from its head, moving forward with its body to eat the roadside grass. The man looked at its movements with curiosity and recorded it to post on social media, as he had never seen such a strange creature. Peculiar moving stone. Hundreds of animal species are unique and natural. This one, however, is something you don't always get to see. A girl was going to school when she saw this inscrutable entity. It was a stone that was moving, and it caught her attention and interest towards it. The stone had an oval-shaped, mud-colored, shiny body with two horn-type things on its top and bottom. The recorder picked it up and dropped it in her bag to show it to her friends and named it a moving stone. Nudie branches. Nudie branches are colorful marine gastropod mollusks found in oceans worldwide. These vibrant sea slugs exhibit a range of striking patterns and hues, making them highly distinctive. They lack a shell, which sets them apart from many other mollusks. Nudie branches are known for their diverse feeding habits, primarily consuming sponges, anemones, or other small invertebrates. They possess unique defense mechanisms such as bright colorization to deter predators and the ability to absorb toxins from their prey for protection. Some species can even regenerate lost body parts. Their varied shapes and vivid colors combined with their fascinating behaviors make nudie branches a subject of intrigue for marine enthusiasts. Strange blob of Alcapulco. In March of 2016, two men were passing by a beach in Alcapulco, Mexico, where they found a giant unidentified monster. It was a 13-foot-long unidentified blob and was a mysterious creature for them, so they posted it on social media. The next day, scientists came to speculate it and believed the creature to be a whale, and others a squid. And of course, people on the internet think it is a terrifying monster. Whatever the blob was, the creature appeared to die shortly before beachgoers discovered it. Though the animal was not fully decomposed, it was well on its way. Malayan kugo. A man went to a forest where he saw this being on a tree stem that got him curious of its nature. He thought it might be a bat, as it has wings around its hands and feet. It had a hairy body and a rat-like face with two big eyes. To explore more, he recorded it to post on social media. Someone called it a flying lemur. A wildlife expert identified it to be a Malayan kugo. They can glide for long distances between trees standing far apart. These can weigh from 1 to 2 kilograms, are strange climbers, and are not so strong. Unrecognizable creature. A man was crossing a road when he found this unrecognizable mysterious organism. It was a small white-colored ball creature with no prominent features. The creature had many black spikes on its head and they were moving. It also had tiny holes on its upper body. By zooming in, the man could see that there was a feather thing around its mouth. It was spilling out a water-like substance but could not be recognized from where. He recorded it and posted it on social media to unwrap this mystery but could not solve this. Do you guys know what it is? Leave us a comment if you know. Aye. A man was camping in a forest when he saw an incredibly weird animal, which came to feed itself on the branch of a tree. It looked like a rat to him at first as it had a long hairy body, a tiny face with 2 yellow eyes, long fingers, and big ears as compared to its head. But after watching it for quite some time, he discovered that it was not a rat. He recorded and searched it out to explore more, and guess what he found? It was Aye, a strange and rare primate that lives only in Madagascar, born after a gestation period of 160 to 170 days. Uses long middle fingers to tap and probe for insects. They are mostly solitary and nocturnal, but communicate with vocalizations, scent marks, and body postures. Red-tail catfish. A fisherman named Jeremy Wade was fishing in the Amazon River and caught an Amazon red-tail catfish. He was amazed by watching this unique fish of the Amazon. It had a red tail and fins. The recorder was surprised to see a unique organ on its body, by which it communicates underwater.
They make this squeaking noise, and I can only imagine that that is actually for communication underwater.
Its amazing feature was its enormous head with a wide mouth and little teeth in it. The fish had a strong, gripping mouth to grip its prey, and there was some rust coming from its mouth on the finger of Jeremy.
My finger is sort of rasped my finger there.
It is huge, as he had to use his full power to catch it, and it can gulp in half of a human leg. Bizarre shield-like entity. On October 16th, a man went out of his house where he was intrigued to see an unidentified creature creeping in and out of a shell-like object on a wall outside his home. Its shell was black patterned and it looked like a worm. He recorded it and posted it on social media to speculate more about it. Someone commented that they are called Ferocia or Torella, known by the vernacular names plaster bagworm and household casebearer. It is a moth species in the family Tenendi. It has been recorded from Brazil, Ghana, and the southern United States, as well as the Virgin Islands and Trinidad, and tentatively identified from Tobago. Odd species. You guys have seen many rare animals, but today you will see a super weird animal that you won't believe exists. A man was camping in a forest when he saw this weird creature on a plant. It had a black mouth with many legs and a jelly-like bizarre belly, in which there were many insects or worms. He got extremely curious and recorded it and asked a forest expert about it. And he told him that it was a cereal leaf beetle. Its larva gives it a strange aspect, as when it gets warm, it tends to get infected by Tetrasticalis julis. Tetrasticalis julis is the key larval endoparasitoid of the cereal leaf beetle Olamia melanopus. The larva gives this a scary image of a walking incubator. Purple frog. A man was walking through a lake when he saw an unidentified, unpleasant species. It had a ting rat resembling a face with 2 hands and feet with a comparatively bigger body. The most interesting part was its purple color. He could not figure out exactly what it was. The man recorded and posted it on YouTube, and a researcher said it was the purple frog, an Indian purple frog or pig-nosed frog found in the Western Ghats in India in October 2003. Its large body and small head were a bizarre animal. People do not like it, as its repulsive nose can make you feel sick of it when it sniffs you and tries to touch. It is a terrifying experience. Devil katydid. In a wild world of bugs, many weird creatures try to protect themselves by using clever tricks. A gardener in a Japanese garden found an army of tiny trichogramma wasps that were laying eggs in the pesticides. The grandpa said that farmers use these wasps to protect their crops without chemicals. In Australia, wildlife experts thought it was a two-horned grasshopper that was intimidating a female insect to attract more male grasshoppers near it. These tiny creatures with sharp brains show us how to survive and thrive in tough places. Tapir. A man was passing by a lake. He saw a confusing animal that had a flexible nose like an elephant. He got confused about this mysterious animal, so he recorded it and started exploring. The recorder came to know that it was Bard's tapir, which is common in Central America, but not anywhere else. Barred tapirs are large, long-nosed mammals that may look like they're relatives of elephants, but they're closer kin to horses, donkeys, zebras, and rhinoceroses, and have a prominent proboscis or tube-like nose. It's made up of soft tissues, which makes the organ extremely flexible and allows it to be used to snatch leaves and stems that would otherwise be out of reach. Odd lizard. You guys have seen a lizard in your lives, but have you ever seen a two-headed lizard? There was a boy who saw it in a forest and was very curious to know about it, and kept it in the house, fed him with insects, and told his friends about this odd reptile. They suggested he let it live in the garden, as it is not safe to keep such reptiles at home. So he put it in a jar and fed it with grass and water and dropped it in the back garden. Long neck animal.
We're gonna see what he is. Oh, what the?
The guy was trying to move his stuff from his backyard, and suddenly his eyes caught a strange, unfamiliar animal with a long neck, 4 feet, a tiny body, and a long tail. He was trying to hypothesize it, so he watched it closely and found out that it had sections on its neck and its mouth open, so he thought it to be an ostrich or a genaruk. The source put a stick near it and tried to grab it, which made him think to stay away from it, but he recorded it to post on social media. If you guys know about this animal, let us know.
Bro, what is this? Look at that. Poke its neck. Oh!
Open discussion. During an exploration of the Red Sea in Egypt, a diver encountered an unusual creature that resembled a cross between a snake and a crocodile, adorned with feather-like tentacles. Intrigued, the diver filmed the animal and later identified it as a snake sea cucumber, Synapta maculata. This species is notable for its size, reaching lengths of 7 to 10 feet. The snake sea cucumber feeds by using its feather-like tentacles to capture floating organic matter. It is sometimes sold on the black market due to its value as a delicacy in certain cultures. The diver's discovery highlighted the unique and often hidden wonders of marine life. Thank you very much for watching the video. Share in the comments and do like the video and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.